Hey everyone, how's it going? Sitlow, just hanging out in the garage coming at you guys with another video. And in this one, we're going to be working on the OBS truck again. Now, a few videos back, we went and did the lift kit on the front, and it's actually been riding really nice since we did that. But I did notice recently that the back end of the truck was starting to feel a little bit more on the bouncy side. And whenever I drive over like a washboard section on a dirt road or hit a big bump in the road, you can almost kind of feel the truck start to step out a little bit. So I think it's time to replace the shock absorbers all the way around. So what I went ahead and did was I ordered these brand new KYB gas adjust monotube shocks, and in this video we're going to be replacing the shock absorbers all the way around on the OBS with these here. So stick around, you guys, because I might need your help. So let's go ahead and get started. Hey guys, so the first order of business, first thing I'd like to do before I even start putting wrenches on it is I like to hit all the nuts and bolts with this penetrating oil. Just gives you more of a sporting chance of being able to break the nuts and bolts free without having to fight with them so much. Alright guys, so I'm currently underneath the back of the truck, and to change the shocks, it's really not that involved of a process. You've got one major bolt here, then snaked up there, you've got one there, and then one on the other side. So there's 3 bolts that you have to undo to get these shocks off. Same goes for this side, 1 lower, 2 uppers. Fairly straightforward process. So anyway guys, I'm gonna go ahead and zip these rear shocks off. As you can tell by looking at them, these are a little worse for wear. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and zip these rear ones off, and we'll get moving. Alright guys, so we're going for this top now. You're gonna need a wrench and a socket because it's just a nut and a bolt going through here. It is not captive, so you're gonna have to hold the top while you undo the bottom. Once I crack them free, I then come back and bust them loose with this impact. Because why not, you know? Much easier. Let's get this last sucker now. Perfecto. Oh my god. Look at this thing. It doesn't even return. This thing is completely clapped. Garbage. Alright, so we got the one. I'm gonna jump over to the other side and get this other one. Going for 2. That was easy. Just gonna go ahead and leave this bolt in here until I get the top 2 out. That way this thing's not just dangling around. Alright guys, so going for the driver's side rear upper. And the upper is a little more tricky because you got the spare tire here, which kind of eats up a lot of your free room. But you know, if you don't have a spare tire there, then you got nothing to worry about. But if you don't have a spare tire there, then perhaps you should. Otherwise you will have something to worry about if you blow out a tire. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get those 2 and we'll move along. Oh my god, this one's even worse than the first one. This one has nothing in it. It's empty. Wow. Boy, am I glad I did this. Alright, so before, look, my hands are already filthy from touching this thing, but look at this thing. It's literally under vacuum almost. Yeah, you can see the hole blown in it. It's not supposed to do that. Alright guys, so these are the shock absorbers that we're going to be replacing our stock ones all around with, and these are made by KYB, and these are a monotube design. Now, I'm not a shock or suspension expert by any means, but from my understanding, a monotube design is basically different from a twin tube design in a sense that the fluid and the gas charge is in 2 separate chambers in a monotube design versus a twin tube design where the gas and the fluid shares the same chamber, and it has a alternating reservoir for the fluid expansion. This here is, like I said, a completely sealed design, keeps the gas and the fluid separate, and these are basically more you know, better performing. You get less fading, more control, better dampening, better rebound. Just it's an all-around better shock than a twin tube design, and it was only like, I think, $10 more each. So I figured, why not give them a try. I was gonna consider going with their Mono Max design, but from what I read about those are more for, like, you know, work trucks and stuff that's like constantly towing and, you know, moving heavy stuff around. I kind of want this one to still ride comfortably, so I just chose the gas adjust, which is the Monotube design, but not as beefy as the Mono Max. But anyway, enough of my yapping. Let's go ahead and get these things put on. All right, guys, so crawling under. I'm gonna go ahead and get this first one put in. Now, I always like to hang the shocks from the top first. They're a lot easier to get situated once you get the top bolted into place. I'm gonna go ahead and throw one of these nuts on here because these are open-ended, so I can literally just kind of get in there and hang this one. Grab this other nut here. Get this one on here. So we got both of the nuts started. We'll go ahead and just zip these on with this impact. Jump over to this side now. All right, so now that we got the top in, we can go ahead and worry about getting this bottom mounted. So let's do that. Hey guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this bottom portion installed. Now, what you wanna remember is that they install this strap on these things because these things are under pressure, and the moment you cut this strap, this thing is gonna want to expand a good, I don't know, I'm guessing 6 to 8 inches. So to help ease of installation, what you want to do is you want to line up the eyelet with the hole, and I almost like to wedge something like in between here and there to give you a little bit of prying, you know, room or whatever if you need it. That way when you cut the strap, it doesn't immediately just expand beyond where you need it to go and you have to fight with it again. And even if you do, you have something in there that you could pry back with. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab like a screwdriver or something just to kind of wedge in there. Then we're gonna carefully, well, not carefully, we're just gonna cut the strap. This thing's gonna expand, and we're just gonna try to shove that bolt in. And if we're lucky, we can just get the bolt all the way through without having to, you know, mess around at all. So let's go ahead and try to do that. See, there it goes. Easy as pie, just like that. We go ahead and throw our nut and washer on it. We'll be on to the other side. All right, zip this sucker into place. All right, guys, so we're gonna do the same thing we did with the other side. We're gonna line it up. Get our bolt ready. I'm gonna wedge this guy in here so we have something to pry with. Get that bolt. Yes, got it. And there it is. Our washer. Our nut back on there. Alright, you guys. So as of now, we've got brand new shocks on the rear. And they look nice too, which is a bonus. Alright guys, so moving along to the front now. Pretty much same as the rear. There's 3 fasteners holding each shock in. There's 1 bolt up top here. You can probably see this side a little easier. Yeah, you see that guy right there. That is the top of the shock stud. We're going for that one. Then when you hop underneath here, underneath the lower control arm, you've got 1 bolt here and 1 bolt there. And it just drops right out from underneath the bottom. So let's go and rip these ones out. It should be pretty easy. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and start dropping these lowers first. And then I'll move on to the top because if you undo the top and then once you undo the lowers, the shock is just going to kind of drop out. But I guess it doesn't matter. You can do the uppers first, you can do the lowers first. Just got to get these bolts out of there. That's all there is to it. But now that we got the lowers out and got the whole shock loose, I'm just going to hop over here. And like I said, pre-soaking all these with that penetrating oil definitely made a nice difference, because look how easily those fasteners just come right out. All right, now we just got to go and get the remaining fasteners up top, and the thing will just drop right out. Just like that. Okay guys, so each front shock absorber comes with this little bag of hardware, and basically what you want to do before you install it is you want to preload one of these washers on there, these Fat Daddy washers, and also one of these rubber isolators, because how this thing mounts is you got the shaft that goes, you know, through the frame, and this washer and this rubber isolator kind of sandwich it in between there. So you would install it like this, and then once you got it installed, you would then proceed to put this on and cap it with another one, and then lock it down with the nut. So anyway, it's always easier to preload this before you install it. So we go ahead and get this put under the truck. We'll keep it moving. Just go ahead and fish it up in there, just like so. Now you want to line it up with the hole up top, and then comes the fun part, compressing it, which, you know, isn't hard to do. It's just I got a camera propped where I would like to be leaning and exerting my force. So how can I do this? All right, so kind of cheated a bit. I don't care. I just want this done. Little scissor jack for the win. Alright guys, so we got the driver's side lower installed. All we got to do is go up top, put that other rubber isolator, that other washer, and lock it down. It also helps to take note of like the orientation of this here. As you can see, it's like kind of, I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but it's angled to basically pitch the shock the way it goes. Now, if I had not paid attention to that and I had this thing spun around the other way, you know, I'd be fighting with the shock trying to load it. So the fact that they kind of orientated that in a way that it needs to be orientated is pretty cool to begin with. So, all right. Alright, so now that we got our lower installed and our shock stud protruding up through the frame where it needs to be, we just got to go ahead and cap it off with this. Start with the rubber isolator. Now you typically want the smaller portion going facing downward and the bigger portion of this facing up. I suppose it really doesn't make a crucial dramatic difference, but you put that on there, cap it with this washer, and take our new nut, thread it on by hand, got a wrench for a socket, go ahead, snug it up. Now you don't want to beefcake it, because like I said, those rubber isolators, you don't want to squish them down. You want to leave a little bit of wiggle room in there. And KYB is also nice enough to provide us with this upper jam nut for it, so might as well put this on there as well. Not that it makes a crucial difference either, but they provided it, so let's put it on there. Give it a quick snug. Alright. And just like that. Alright you guys, so as of now we got all 4 of our brand new shock absorbers installed. I suppose the only thing to do now is take it for a drive and see how it rides. Alright you guys, initial impression impressions, I can tell just pulling out of the driveway that this truck is going to ride so much better, and it already does ride so much better. You know, I've already went over a couple decent sized bumps and a set of railroad tracks and didn't feel the rear end of the truck step out at all whatsoever, which is a good sign. Like I said, last thing you want to do is when you're driving down like a washboard, a bumpy road, is to have the ass end kick out on you. Yeah, so far so good, man. This thing's handling bumps really nice. Oh my god, that is so much better. Not that those are the worst tracks in town, but that's definitely so much better than it was. About to hit us a dirt road here. Tell about the sign. Alright, so that's already a million times better. These roads are pretty womped out and washboarded. And I don't even feel a single stutter or nothing. What a beautiful day as well. Absolute perfect day. Yeah, so far so good, man. These shocks are already making a world of difference as far as the handling of this truck goes. You can see this is all pretty much washboard here. Tires not skipping. Bed of the truck ain't jumping all over the road like it used to. And the truck just feels planted. Much better. Yeah, this corner is the worst because it's all washboard. You could always feel the truck step out on this one. I'm not going to floor it because there's a guy on his lawnmower there, but you get the idea. This thing is riding about 1.5 million times better already, so I'm glad we did this. Isn't that beautiful out there? What a perfect day, you guys. I know I probably said that about 30 times already, but man, what a beautiful day. This is why I built this truck, just to go out here, cruise these B roads, hoot root it, friggin' drive around like Dukes of Hazzard. Okay, so I just got back from our test drive, and all I can say is what an amazing improvement these new shocks have made in the overall ride quality in this truck. This truck is riding and going down the road better than it ever has. As long as I've owned it anyways, it literally feels like a brand new truck. Total time involved, we got less than an hour wrapped up into this job, and total cost involved, less than 300 bucks. If I were to rate this job on a 1 to 10 scale, I'd say maybe a 1.5. It's really that easy to do. And like I said, if you've got an older truck that's kind of starting to, you know, ride a little on the rough side, feel a little bouncy and feeling a little wobbly in the turns, it's well worth your time to invest in some brand new shocks all the way around, because I literally wish I would have done this 1.5 years ago, because this thing is riding so much better. Anyway, you guys, I think that's going to do it for this one. I appreciate you guys watching. If you got any questions or comments, feel free to shoot them in the comment section. I'll be sure to answer them the best I can. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.